How to record and track your CPD using the CIBSE ANZ CPD management tool. This tool has been developed in an Excel workbook format to assist members in maintaining a record of the CPD they complete. This tool will allow corporate members to track CPD against total hours required, as well as track against minimum requirements for each competency and against maximum quotas imposed for certain methods of learning. Details of these requirements will be covered in more detail later in this presentation. The workbook also includes space to document your reflection on the CPD you complete. Remembering there is a minimum requirement to reflect on 2 CPD activities per year and on any CPD activity over 5 hours long. This recording today will cover where to access this tool and how to record and track your CPD. It will also help you to meet the reflection requirement. I will now cover how to access this tool. You can access the CPD management tool by locating membership and registration on the top navigation bar of any CIBSE website. First, hover over this tab until a drop-down menu appears. From the drop-down box, hover over the tab Membership Information. This will open another drop box from where you should click Continued Professional Development. From the Continued Professional Development page, you will see a navigation pane on the left-hand side of your screen. Click the bottom option titled CPD Requirements for Australia and New Zealand. On this page, you will find details of the requirements for corporate members in the ANZ region. From this page, you can also access the ANZ CPD Tracker to download. Download this workbook and save it to your computer with your name and start date in the title. You can use this workbook to record 3 years of CPD. I will now cover how to use this CPD management tool. The workbook includes a title page, a sheet that repeats the rules and guidance for members in the ANZ region, also a CPD tracker sheet to record your CPD activity and your reflections. On first use, open the workbook to the CPD tracker tab. Enter your membership number, your name, and the start date. For most engineers, this will be 1/1/2023, when this new criteria commenced. However, if you joined CIBSE after this date, simply enter the date you joined as your start date. The end date will automatically update as 3 years later. The next thing to add will be your area of engineering practice to the CPD area of competency dashboard. A drop-down box lets you select from academia, energy management, electrical, facades, facilities management, environmental, hydraulics, mechanical, and other. For those who work in 2 areas of engineering practice, go ahead and select your second area of practice from the cell below. If you select Other, then fill in the area of practice in the blank cell to the left. I will now take you through how to enter an individual CPD record. Each record is recorded on a single row. To do this, scroll down the sheet to where you read Your Individual CPD Records. First, enter the date your CPD commenced. Next, enter the duration of your CPD in hours as a decimal to the nearest 15 minutes. I've entered 20 hours here. However, if your CPD was 2 hours and 15 minutes, you would enter this as 2.25. The image of the eye in the duration cell will provide more information about the duration format when you hover over it. Next, enter the provider of the CPD that you are recording. This could be CIBSE, your work, or any other association or company from where you source this particular CPD. Next, enter the activity title. This could be the title of the seminar, course, or publication, or this cell could simply be used to describe the activity. If there is a link to more information about this particular activity, you can include that in the link column. Next, the column titled CPD Structure provides a drop box for semi-structured, structured, or unstructured learning. Select the one that best describes your activity. To assist in this selection, the image of the eye in the CPD Structure cell provides examples of learning methods that fall under each structure type. The next column, CPD Method, describes how the activity was conducted. There are 15 methods to choose from the Dropbox. The first 5 of these have limitations on what can be claimed over 3 years. The remainder have no limitations. You can see the restricted methods listed in the dashboard above, titled CPD Method Maximum Quotas. Private study is one such restricted method. You can only claim 18 hours of private study in a 3-year period. For demonstration purposes, you can see that for this row, I have entered 20 hours of private study on the 2nd of February 2023. This takes me over the maximum quota for this method. As a result, the private study cell in the CPD methods dashboard turns red, indicating that I should now use other methods of CPD to fulfill my requirements. Next, you are asked to express the percentage of your activity that relates to each CPD area of competency. The Tech Prac 1 column refers to what was entered above as Area of Practice 1. In this example, it is electrical. Tech Prac 2 is only relevant for those with a second area of practice. Most members will only have one area of engineering competency, and so this column will remain blank. The following 6 columns are abbreviations for each area of competency: risk management, management and business skills, safety, sustainability, ethics, and other. These columns must add up to 100%. When they do, the check column will read OK. If they don't, the check column will read error. The dark grayed out columns to follow show the breakdown in hours of the percentage split just entered. These columns are read-only. Again, for demonstration purposes, of the 20 hours, you can see I have marked 80% of this CPD activity as related to safety and 20% as Tech Prac 1, or in my case, electrical. This is reflected in the dashboard above on the left, titled CPD Area of Competency. These cells remain red until the hours have been met. Because I have now met the required 15 hours of safety, this cell turns green. Because in this example, I have only completed 4 hours out of the 50 required for electrical, this cell remains red. This dashboard allows me to track the competencies I need to focus on for the future CPDs. I would also like to bring to your attention total claimable hours. This is displayed above the CPD area of competency dashboard on the left. Even though in this example I have completed 20 hours of CPD, my total claimable hours reflects only 18. This is because activity method of private study is restricted to 18 hours. At this point, I do well to engage in alternative methods of CPD so that they will be counted towards the 150-hour requirements. I will now explain a nuance for those with 2 areas of engineering practice. For those who wish to maintain registration in 2 areas of practice, for example, mechanical and electrical, you are required to complete 50 hours of CPD for each of these engineering practices. However, it is important to note that you can double claim up to 25 hours of CPD that overlaps both areas of practice. Firstly, in the CPD area of competency dashboard, ensure that you have entered your 2 practice areas. Then, to log an activity as double, Simply duplicate a record, replacing percentage entered for Tech Prac 1 with Tech Prac 2. For example, a 2-hour cybersecurity seminar that equally covers mechanical services and electrical services would be recorded over 2 rows as shown, with the only adjustment being that the second row, the CPD, is attributed to mechanical instead of electrical. In the dashboard above, you will see hours completed for both electrical and mechanical have each been adjusted to 2 out of 50, and the total claimable hours reads as 4. Remember, you can only double claim up to 25 hours of CPD over 3 years. The remainder of your CPD must be attributed to a single competency. Now that we have covered how to access this management tool from the CIBSE website and how to record and track your CPD, I will demonstrate how to capture a reflection. Remembering that reflections are required for 2 CPD activities per year and any activity over 5 hours. Reflecting on your CPD is easy. It's best to reflect soon after completing an activity whilst the content is still fresh. Firstly, scroll right on the Tracker tab until you see the 3 columns for reflection. To reflect on a CPD activity, we ask you to answer 3 questions. What did I learn from this activity? How will I apply this learning to my work? And how will I further develop this learning to meet any gaps in my knowledge, skills, and behaviors? There is no minimum word count for your reflective comments. However, an assessor will be looking for a thoughtful response and may request additional detail if required. When you've finished updating your CPD record, save your workbook to your computer for next time. This tool is a helpful aid for CIBSE's annual CPD audit. Regular input into this tool will make it easy to submit your CPD should you be called up for an audit, as this tool captures all the information required in one place. Keeping in mind, an assessor may request additional documentation depending on what the member has recorded. I hope you found this demonstration useful. If you have further questions about this CPD management tool, please email cpd@cibse.org. Thank you for your time.